Hey there, guys. Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another video. Today, we're going to be talking about the traits of a high-value man. Okay. First one, physically able. So, being physically able. This goes along with being strong. So, being able to lift heavy weights, that kind of thing. Being fast and being able to endure. So, you can run, you can swim, all of those kinds of things. You can last for a long time. You can fight. This is the most important one because so you can protect the people you love. Yeah, this is really important. So you want to be able to do all of these things at a mix of once. I've managed to do them all kind of separately. So I've done some running, I've done a lot of weights, and I did a fair bit of fighting. So now I'm just trying to implement them all into one big ball of being physically able in all areas, all aspects. And this is really important because it's going to set you up for everything outside of the physical world as well, because you are going to have to generate a certain amount of discipline to be able to achieve all of these factors to become this type of physically able. So to be able to run for long periods of time, lift heavy weights, and fight to a high standard, you're going to have to train a lot. So you're going to need the discipline to train for longer periods of time and consistently as well. The next one we have, mentally strong. So this is very important as well. So it's about being able to see your goal, being able to define it clearly, and not to be deterred from it. So being able to stay on target no matter what the distractions are, no matter what's coming your way, no matter what may be affecting you, just being able to keep going at your target. So an example of this could be me setting out a goal of making £10,000 a month, so 10k a month, big goal, and it may not happen immediately. So it could take me a couple of months of hard work, and that's acceptable. I'm willing to do that because 10k a month is a good amount of money. It's a very good amount of money to be living on. So if I can make that, especially online, and go do what I want, then I'm going to be pretty happy with myself. But it's going to take a hell of a lot of work to get there. So being mentally strong and knowing that I'm going to achieve that goal, it'll just take some time, and accepting that the path may be difficult is extremely important, and it's a really good trait of a high value man. People talk a lot about stoicism in high value men, and this is going to be something that's, I feel like it's going to pick up a fair bit more because it hasn't really been named as such with men in the past, but now it's starting to come into light a bit more with books about how to be a stoic, people knowing what a stoic actually is. So a stoic is someone that rejects pleasure and takes on adversity and acknowledges the incident or the situation they are in, but does not react with their emotions. They react after taking in all of the information they can from that incident, from whatever's going on, and then acting with all the information they've gained, with all their past experience. They can then choose the best move to make. So, example is, let's say someone were to approach me in the street and like, give me your wallet. I'd say, you don't have to say anything immediately. You look at them, you say, no, thank you, I'd rather not. And if you've been training, if you've done fighting, you've got that kind of, you've got that courage in yourself. You've got that confidence that you can protect yourself come this incident. So you stand your ground. You say, no, I'm not going to give you my wallet. But you don't just give in to them immediately. But you don't get emotional. You don't get angry. You don't immediately start to fight back. You just say no. And then if they start getting aggressive, then you can push them away, then you can start to use your other skills. But never let your emotions overtake you in a situation. So it could be that it could be I'm at the gym, and someone has an argument with me, or we're having an argument, and someone's saying I'm doing my bench press wrong. Instead of saying no, you're wrong, don't say that. Look at how actually listen and look at what they're trying to say. Listen to the point they're trying to get across. Try and understand it from their point of view and why they think what you're doing is wrong. And then you can look at it and be like, I see where you're coming from. That different form of bench press does your triceps more. I'm trying to increase my chest strength. You can say something like that if you're doing it that way, or just by looking at both sides of the argument, both yours and theirs, and by listening properly, you're going to be able to understand what is making that person angry and upset, and then you're also going to be able to resolve the situation a lot easier. So you can't let the situation affect you. You can't let your emotions decide your actions. You have to decide it with your brain. You have to decide it with your head and make the best choice you possibly can in every situation. And yes, that takes a lot of effort. Every single situation, making the best choice, but it means being aware and present in almost every moment and being in control of not only your body, but your tongue as well. You can't start spurting out words that you don't mean. You've got to wait a second, maybe decide on a sentence, then say it. Don't just rush out and go, oh, and then you end up saying something you regret. That's not what you want. So next one we've got here is financially stable. So this is a very good trait for a high quality man, because a high value man, he will earn enough to provide for both himself and his family, but not just to the degree where they're well off, but it's also enough to provide for the lifestyle that man wants to live, the lifestyle his spouse wants to live, and the lifestyle he wants to provide for his children and his family and the rest of his loved ones. So someone like myself, I want to provide for my mother. If I wanted to pay for her to retire, so I pay her, but she can go and do what she wants. She can go and travel, she can go and do anything. I've got to earn enough to be able to pay for that, as well as for myself and for my own wife and kids and whatnot, if I have them at that point. So you've got to be able to provide for those that you love, as well as yourself. And it's not just providing enough for the bare minimum, it's providing enough for their whole lifestyle and whatever it is they want to do. This is the final point, but I feel like this is extremely important with men, because I know I struggle with it a lot. But if you keep this in discipline, you keep it in your head at all times, it's so valuable, and you're going to get a really good reputation from it, and you're going to get a hell of a lot of benefit from it. Okay, so this is keeping your word. It's one thing, and I know that doesn't sound like much. Like, well, what do you mean? But it's Jordan Peterson talks a lot about this. So don't lie, and if you can't, always tell the truth. That, I think, is what he says. And then if you can't do that, just don't lie. So yes, there is a difference between those two. Telling the truth is always obviously telling the truth. Not telling a lie is you're not telling them the truth, but you're not telling them something that's completely false either. You're not making something up. But your word, you've got to realise, is your bond. It is what ties you to every other person on this planet. If someone doesn't think you're trustworthy, then you're not going to get very far. You're not going to have a good reputation. Say you have a business and you get customers saying, well, he's not very trustworthy. He just keeps lying. He doesn't do what we ask him to do. You're not going to get a very good reputation. You're not going to get very good customers. And all the customers that do come to you, they're going to be skeptical, and they may not trust you, so they may not pay you as much. So by keeping your word, you're going to set yourself. The first thing you're going to set yourself is a standard that you have to keep to. The truth, your truth, and the truth of others. You've got to be honest with everyone around you. You don't butter things over. You don't give them something that will make them feel good. You give them the honest, hard truth. A lot of people may not like that, but it's what you want to do to help them grow. And so when you say you'll do something, you want to go and do it. Even if it's just something small. Yeah, Mum, I'll go hang out the washing. Yeah, Dad, I'll go get the milk. Yeah, I'll go do this. Yeah, I can go do that. Don't forget about it. Write it on your hand as a note. Go and get it done. Just don't forget about it, because then you get back from wherever you've been and you're like, oh, I forgot to get it. Sorry, Mum. Or something like that. And then they're going to think, oh, okay, so he doesn't care. He doesn't keep his word. He doesn't keep himself together. He doesn't fulfill on what he says he will do. But this is also another thing, because it helps you talk less. By talking less, you're listening more, but also by talking less, you're committing to less. So by saying less, I'm not going to have to keep my words to as many things, am I? So if I keep saying that I'm going to do this, 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 and this, that's already 10 things if I'm talking constantly. But if I'm just listening to what other people have to say, I haven't said anything that I need to keep my word to. And this will give me a lot more time to go and carry out the other things that I've told myself that I'm going to keep my word to. So it could be, like right here, I've got get out of bed at 6 a.m. I used to struggle with that, as in I was fine at waking up at 6, but I just roll back to bed kind of thing. So if you can get out of bed at 6 on the dot, as soon as the alarm goes off, out of bed, make the bed, then turn off your alarm, that kind of thing, you're keeping your word to yourself. But keeping your word to yourself also increases your confidence. This will help you so much, I cannot stress it enough. By saying things like, I'm going to do that today, I'm going to do it today, I'm going to do this tomorrow, I'm going to make this YouTube video, I'm going to post that on Instagram. What you do is you set yourself little goals that are achievable, and you've gone and done them. And then you think of yourself, like in a few weeks, you'll look back and think, I've done everything I've told myself to do. Every little bit, I've gone and done it. And that you're going to benefit so much from that, because you're going to realise you can trust yourself with being given a task that might be difficult, might be hard to do, might be really, really challenging, and you might not know how to do it. But you can then trust yourself to, because you know that you're the type of person to go and get it done, just by doing all these little tasks, by keeping your word to yourself. That's all we've got for today, everyone. I'd like to thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.